Hello, and welcome to the first ever M42 Adventures podcast. I am your host, Rick Trimmer. I am the founder of this movement, and basically, want to kind of give you guys an idea of who I am, what this company is, why I started it, what it is all about, and give you a little peek on this so you can, see if you want to, jump on board or not. And this is a little weird. I know lots of people these days are starting a podcast and I'm no different. Again, I don't have these big, grandiose ideas that this is going to, be something crazy huge or something like this. This is a passion for me. This is something that I want to do. This is, I want to have conversations with men and women, kids, all over the world who are doing great things in outdoors and adventures. I was just told a minute ago by a friend of mine who ran into a 13-year-old kid who's doing double backflips on a snowboard sponsor, and he's 12 or 13 years old, and those are the type of people and kids and adults that I want to have these conversations with and let people know what's possible, what you can do out there. If you get off the couch, get outside your comfort zone, and you're just like this podcast right now, sitting in front of cameras. I've got Ricky in the room, a buddy of mine. He's a partner on this company as well, helping me make sure I don't mess this up. Obviously, I don't know anything about cameras and microphones and all the different things, but he's here to kind of help me get through this and make sure that I don't mess it up. And being in front of this camera and talking to people, it's not easy. You're putting yourself out there to the world. And it can be intimidating, but I want to do it because I want to grow. I've got a couple things on the calendar coming up with a conversation with Ryan Mickler. We're going to record a podcast. Paul Silvis from Africa. We're going to record a podcast here soon. And I can't wait, to wake up. I've been in the construction industry my whole life. Cabinets, flooring, wood mills. I've built several companies, and thankfully, I'm in a position where I don't have to work, and this was something I wanted to start out of as a passion and something that I want to fill my hours with, and selfishly to where I can learn and level up in life, and then hopefully people out there who are wanting to get into some of the things that we're going to offer, and they can come join us and do that as well. So let me give you a little bit of an insight into who I am for those of you who are new. Again, like I said, my name is Rick Trimmer. I'm from Utah, and I'm gonna try to keep this as brief as possible. I know you don't want to sit here and listen to me ramble on all day long about who I am and talk about myself, but at the same time, I want to give you a peek into, my resume, who I am, what I believe in, what I stand for, and then that way you can decide if it's something you want to, follow along with or not, and no hard feelings if not. I understand that. So. I'm here in St. George, Utah. I am 43 years old. I've been married to a woman named Gina Trimmer, who actually also has a podcast called Revitalized Womanhood, and I'll give her a shameful plug, no problem. Love her to death. So we've been married for, what is it, Ricky? She's on the picture right there behind me. That was on our wedding photos, but we've been married, oh gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble, bro. 17 years, something like that. A long time. We've been married a long time. It's been a good run. We, we're doing better than ever. And we have 3 beautiful little boys, a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And they're my world. Anybody that knows me knows that they are my world. That is it. Family is, especially my kids, man. That's just me. So, married Gina a long time ago, 17, 18 years ago, and started my first company right when I met her. Had a company, running it, ended up jumping into another business, sold that one off, and started a company called United Wood Products here in Utah. And ran that one for a while and hit the recession. Was doing good, thought I was, just pretty smart. And I had a lot of debt, a lot of issues, with finances that once the recession hit, and the tap turned off, everything dried up. And all my stuff that I had was financed. I had a big house, big truck, big, nice motorcycles, all the things that we think that we need and will make us happy. And when the faucet turned off, I lost it all, lost everything. My wife was pregnant with my first kid, 9 months. He was born 2 weeks after we lost our home. And we had to move into my grandparents' basement at 31 years of age. And baby on the way, moved back in there, lost my house, lost my cars, repossessed my cars. I mean, just devastating. And had to really do some soul searching. It was dark days, sitting in the basement there for not just weeks or months, but, a year or two, really just depressed, trying to figure out what I did wrong and how to dig out of this deep, deep hole. We had $400,000 or $500,000 in debt on the company that I couldn't, walk away from. It was tied to my parents' property in Utah. So I had to, roll up my sleeves and fight. And I did. So I rolled up my sleeves and fought for years. We cut back on every expense. We went from living off $10,000 a month barely to living off a couple $1,000s a month. I didn't get income from my company for a year and a half, or I would have killed it. So I worked every day for free for year and a half. My wife went back to work, and my grandparents watched my boy, and we just grinded for years. And we ended up, when we came back out of that, we ended up taking the money, that little bit of money we had, and instead of buying, liabilities, we bought assets. We started buying rental properties, talking people who were owners, talking owners into selling us because my credit was shot, and, put a little money down and started making payments to them and renting them out. And we built up our portfolio over, 2013, I think, or 14 was when I bought my 14 to the first of 17. So about 3 years, we just started acquiring properties. At that time, my businesses started coming back, and the income started coming in and getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And again, instead of, just buying things on credit, we had learned our lesson, and we started making better financial decisions. And we got up to 8 condos by 2017, paid off, no debt on them, and the company, rocking and rolling. And I ended up selling percentage of my construction companies to some of my employees, and we took off. March of 2017, I was 36 years old, and officially, unofficially retired. We had 2 boys at that time that were 6 and 2 or 3, and we headed out and started traveling. And we traveled the world for 7 years minus COVID. We came back and stayed the majority of the time at my parents' ranch, and then I ended up buying a property during that time. But we went and traveled for 7 years with my wife and two little boys, now 3. 62 countries is what we did in total. Just finished up December of last year, so 3-4 months ago. Wrapped it up a little bit. We had a 3rd child during COVID, didn't we all? Little COVID baby, got bored, and got our little caboose. He's been to 30 plus countries now. He's 3 years old, and we kind of talked about wanting to give them a little bit of stability. My oldest loves sports, football specifically, and so we decided to come back, change our gears. We've been doing that for 7 years. Checked everywhere off the bucket list that we wanted to go, and wanted another adventure. So came home in December, got them into school for their first time in their lives, and into some sports, bought a puppy, and are going to do that, for the next chapter for a little bit. And while I was trying to decide, what I was going to come back to, I had the option to come back to my construction companies. There's 3 of them here in Utah. And I could have been CEO of those and made good money. But I didn't want to do that. I did not, thankfully I'm in a position where I don't necessarily need the money now. And I wanted to do something that not only, helped me, but helped others, and was outdoors. I love outdoors, everything outdoors. I taught snowboarding in college. I raced dirt bikes in college. I've hunted and fished my entire life. I just love the outdoors. I've always been drawn to animals and nature. And so I was trying to think what's next, you know, and I've had this idea for a company to, you know, I have a lot of friends that are in big cities or just, you know, whatever, raised up by, you know, a lot of us do what our parents, you know, my kids traveled because I travel, right? They just get, they get pulled into it. And if you didn't have a parent that, you know, took you out and took you snowboarding or took you hunting, then you probably don't hunt or snowboard unless you found some friends or something like that got you into it. So I have several friends that would see some of my posts of me, you know, hunting in Hawaii or you know, snowboarding up in Utah, and they would say, man, I want to get into that. I just don't know how I, you know, get a bow to hunt, or how I get a tag, or how I get a snowboard to, you know, snowboard or a mountain bike. And so, you know, the light bulb kind of went off, and I thought, man, there's a need for this. Most of us now are living in cities, big cities, where there's just not this access to things that we have in some of the more rural places. And so I called up my existing partners. There's 5 of them. Let's see. 4 of them, right? 4? Okay, so 5, yeah. So 5, I called all 5 of them I was actually in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and had a couple conversations with them over the couple weeks I was in Dubrovnik, and told them my plan that I wanted to create a company, and told them kind of the outline of it, and they were all on board. They loved it. And I said, okay, I'll be home in December. Let's start working on getting incorporated, things like that. And let's launch this first of next year. So I talked to Ryan Mickler, who owns the company Order of Man. He's been doing self-help and, you know, for men all over the world for over a decade. And he's a good friend of mine. And I called him when I was actually in Ireland. Scotland. I was in Scotland at that time, up in Isle of Skye. And I called Ryan and said, hey, I've got, you know, some, you know, ideas. This is what I'm thinking. And he says, I love it. I'm in. Let's do it. So Ryan's a partner. I've got my 5 other partners. And we're building, we want to do this. This is like a passion. You know, this is something that we generally feel like the world needs. And so I got home, we built out my office, bought all the podcasting equipment. You know, again, it's not a podcast. This company is not a podcast. This is simply a medium for me to get information to you. I'm going to launch 1 a week and interview people that I think are fascinating, however that may be. You know, I want to have like my dad on here. He's an avid outdoorsman. That's where I've got it from. He's been all over the world multiple times, and continues. He's 70, I don't know what you are, Dad, 71, 72 years old. And still to this day, right now, he's on a road trip to Moab, Utah with some friends. He gets home, he goes to Hawaii with me for a couple weeks, and then he's going to Africa with me this fall. So he is, you know, him and my mom have really instilled this love of animals and nature and getting outside. And so, I, you know, people like that, just high achievers, professional surfers, you know, snowboarders. I mean, we're going to have this gauntlet of people on. So basically, what is M42 Adventures? What is it? It's changing as we go, as all things do. You know, when I started my first company, it was a little wood mill down in Mexico, and it has expanded into 3 separate companies here in Utah. So what it is today is a little different than even it was 90 days ago, but that's a good thing. You know, you evolve, you adapt, and that's what it is. So M42 Adventures, our mottos, basically our mantra is educate, experience, and evolve. And the whole premise of this company is to get people, men, women, and children who want to get outside and learn something new, you know, and just don't know how to do it. You want to get into shooting a bow for archery, you know, just shooting targets, but you don't know what bow to buy. There's so much that goes into buying a bow. What's the draw length? What's the poundage? What's the, you know, do you want recurve or traditional? What arrows do you shoot? What length? I mean, you know, there's so many releases, you know, do you want, I mean, it just goes on. And that's one thing. Do you want to get into mountain biking? And I don't know anything about mountain biking, but I know when I go in a mountain biking store, there's hundreds of bikes. and it's overwhelming. And so basically this company, we are going to do two different types of things. One is we're going to, first we're going to educate you. So we're going to educate you through the podcast, through posts on our website. We're going to build a community to where people can interact. Excuse me. And so educate. We're gonna get people information and let them know what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're doing it. And then second is the experience. We have so many people this day and age who read the books, go to the seminars, pay for the coach, and then they don't go to experience it. They don't go try. They don't go do it. They talk and they don't do. And so we're going to educate you, and then we're going to create the experiences where you can come out in person, whether it's at a 3 or 4 day event, at several different facilities that we have. Our first 2 are in Utah at my parents' 50-acre ranch. And we're going to bring you out, and we're going to run you through a gauntlet of experiences, where you're going to set up a large canvas tent. We're going to put a fireplace in it. You're going to come do it. We're going to be there. We're going to have professionals on hand as a staff, but we're going to teach you how to, pitch a tent, build a fire. And then we're going to jump into experiences. We're going to have an archery range, down in the field. Then we're going to have one up in the mountains where you can go shoot 3D targets once you get, the basics. And we're going to go through start to finish, here's the bow, here's how it works, here's what it is, and then we're going to start shooting. We're going to have horses there. We're going to have half a dozen horses there, and you're going to spend 3 hours of the day with a horse. How do you, shoe it? Why do you brush it? How do you brush it? How do you put the saddle on? How do you put the bridle in? How do you lead it? How do you load it? How do you ride it? And really understand everything that comes with a horse. Obviously we have limited time. But in that time, we're going to be prepared to teach you as much as we possibly can, from a beginner to a more intermediate person. You're going to come away with knowledge. I know a little bit about horses. I know a lot about bows. We're going to have UTVs there, where we actually load you up in UTVs, and we're going to go riding up in the mountains and spend, half a day in a UTV. We're going to talk about how to change the tire, how to change the belt, how to flip one over, how to use the winch, safety. We're really going to dive in, and we have the staff to where they're going to sit with you. We've got a pond there on the property that my dad just stocked with another 300 trout. And we're going to bring you in. We're going to teach you how to tie flies. And you can, so basically the idea is, say you're in LA and you've never done any of these things, or you've done 1 or 2 of them. And for me, it's selfish. What's the word? Selfish. I always go selfless, and that's the opposite. It's selfish. I know a lot about, like I said, archery and side-by-sides, but I don't know anything about fly fishing. I don't know anything about outdoor survival. I don't know anything about outdoor cooking. So you sign up for this event, you come out, you're with, 20 to 25 other people, men, women, and children. You can bring your family. We're going to have different locations for, the men over here, the women over here, the families over here. And you, in 3 or 4 days, you can go from saying, hey, I've never done any of these things. Say perhaps you've just never done any of them. And you can go home and you can say, yeah, listen, I learned how to set up a camp. I learned how to, so our events, so the things that we are going to be offering are fly fishing experience, UTV experience, equestrian experience, archery experience, survival experience, hiking experience, and culinary experience. We're going to cook several different meals out on the fire, outside. And then a butchering experience where we're actually going to take an animal and break it down and teach you how to butcher an animal. And, basically you can come up to this event, and in 3 or 4 days, you can go home and tell somebody, if things got bad, or not even if things go bad, but if just I want to go try fly fishing in Montana, or I want to go, hiking in Zion National Park. you feel comfortable. And that's the point of this, to bring people in who are nervous or intimidated on any of these items, and you come in and you can learn, and we're going to be patient with you. We have professionals that, know all aspects of everything. One thing I forgot to mention is we're going to have firearms. So you can come up to this event and imagine in 4 days of your life, you can not only go home with experience on how to catch a fish on a pole and cook it over a fire, a fly pole, which is a lot different than a regular pole, and cook it on a fire. You can learn how to operate a UTV. You can learn how to ride a horse and, care for a horse, shoot a bow, shoot a gun. We have CPR, wildland CPR people coming to where they'll teach you not just CPR, but outdoor CPR. It's much different. If you break your arm in town, it's different than breaking your arm up in the woods.
So let's take a quick break from my conversation, and I wanted to talk about a couple of things that M42 Adventures has coming up this year. One is an African experience where you can come out to Africa with some of the owners of M42 Adventures, me, Ryan Mickler, and you can actually hunt an animal or you can do a photo safari. We've got helicopter tours. We're going to go give back and visit orphanages. Really try to make this an experience, not just a hunt, but something that you can come out and really experience Africa. The second thing is we've got experiences in Utah where you can come out to a 50-acre ranch, spend 4 days with us, and we're going to have just a large amount of activities: horse riding, UTVs, fly fishing, outdoor cooking, survival, archery. It's absolutely going to be amazing. So jump on those. The dates are in July, August, and September of this year. Love to meet you. Love to spend time with you. We're going to have fireside chats. We're going to work on not just the physical and outdoor activities, but as well as the mind, body, and soul, and really try to help people level up. Our motto is educate, experience, and evolve. We're going to give you education if you're new to these things, never hunted, never shot a bow, never ridden a horse. We're going to educate you and get you to that next chapter, which is experience it and actually get on the horse and shoot the bow, whatever it is, and then evolve, level up. That's what we're all trying to do in life. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations and go to the next level. So we'd love to see you out there. You can go to m42adventures.com, get more information, and let's get back to the conversation.
There's backs and are like-minded and want to better themselves. And that is the purpose of this for me, is to make those relationships. I've started going on events and hunts and retreats myself the last few years, and they've changed my life. My network of people has expanded exponentially. The value and the richness of my life right with that. This life for me is about friendships, relationships, memories, my families and friends. And that is it, for me, really, that is it. You obviously have to have money as the catalyst to be able to go to these things, and to, money solves that problem. But as far as the purpose of my life, it is to spend as much time with the people I love and the people I care about and that fill my cup as possible. And that is what M42 Adventures is. Basically, that's the start. So the first kind of step in the process, if you're a beginner, is coming out to one of those events, one of those experiences. We're calling them experiences. And then evolve, level up through relationships, through knowledge, and through, you may come and you may not like the horses. It's all voluntary or optional. So if you're, if you don't want to, work with horses, they make you nervous, no problem. Go do another, event. If you don't want to go ride side by sides, everything is optional. You can come and go as you please to the, different experiences. This is not like, boot camp. So come. We're not going to judge anybody. Everybody's got different fitness levels. Everybody's got different experience, in different fields. We admire anybody who shows up and gives it an effort. And we're there to nurture that and to help you grow on your level at your pace. So that's basically M42 Adventures 1.0. 2.0 will be next year. if you come and you enjoy, say, the UTVs or you enjoy the horseback riding, we're going to have experiences next year where you come and you can go on a 4-day UTV experience or a 4-day horse riding experience. That's what we're hoping to expand into if this takes off. Obviously I've started a lot of companies. I think this is my 12th company I've started, and I'm not naive enough to think that they all work out and everything just, goes the way you planned. But what we are hoping is this will expand into, M42 Adventures Experiences 2.0, which you come out and you go on a hunt for 4 days in Hawaii, or you go fly fishing on a river in Montana. And we're going to facilitate a lot of these different experiences if it works out. If people are drawn to this and people want to come and buy a ticket and show up, then this is where we hope that will go. And we're tenacious, we're very aggressive, and we have big plans and passions, and we don't quit. So we're excited about that, as well as not just experiences. Now, what we're also going to be offering, and our first offering this year, is on-location experiences. So we're starting with Africa because I had a good connection on Africa, and it's been at the top of my bucket list. Again, there comes the selfish aspect, and I've always wanted to go to Africa. I tried to go a few years back, and it did not work out. I'm going to bring that up in a future podcast, the story of that, and how I want people to avoid some of these pitfalls that I've fallen into that were just not planned or what's the word? They just didn't happen the right way. So basically with Africa, I wanted to go there. I wanted to take my family there. And so we partnered with the Buffalo Span Game Lodge, Paul Silvis, and a 5-star facility in South Africa. Top notch, and you can learn more about that. Again, I'm going to record with him in a future podcast and dive deeper into that. But that's this fall, end of July, and in August. We have a couple dates. We've already sold about half of the spots, just to acquaintances. Obviously, this is the first time most of people are hearing about it because we haven't, really marketed much. But come out to Africa. You can go to m42adventures.com to learn more about that, but it's basically an experience. It's not just going out and hunting. You can come out and you can just do the photo safari. You don't have to hunt, or you can hunt. It's gun or archery, rifle or archery. And we're making this with my 7 years of travel experience and going around the world. I thought, what would I want? What would make, a trip to Africa special for me? And so we added a helicopter ride included in the package, a photo safari included in the package. And again, we're going to do some training on, butchering the animals. We're going to go to an orphanage and give back and spend time with the people there and really try to dive into the culture and try to dive into the experience. We're going to, try to immerse ourselves in all things Africa. And I actually hadn't told my parents about this. I launched this a couple weeks ago, and my mom called and said, "Hey, what's this Africa stuff? What's this? What are you doing?" And my mom and dad have been to Africa 3 or 4 times. And I says, I'm doing some, experiences in Africa. I didn't call you because I didn't want you to feel obligated. She's my mom and she supports me in everything I do, and I love her for that, but I didn't want her to feel obligated. And she says, "Well, what is it?" And I says, "Well, we're going down there. We're going to, fly around in helicopters. We're going to go to orphanages. We're going to, do some hunting." And she says, me and your dad want to go. And I says, "Okay, why?" And she says, "This sounds like a travel experience, not just a hunt." And I says, "You're absolutely right. That's the point." So my parents are going, me and my wife and kids are going, and we're going to go spend a week in Africa. And from what I understand, it's just absolutely, it will change you. It's spiritual, and I cannot wait. So I encourage you to look into that if that's something that sounds interesting to you. We're going to have firesides down there. We're going to have a lot of good, deep conversations about, I want to get to know people. I want to, help you and you help me. There may be something I'm struggling with that you're, you could help me with. I don't have it all figured out by any means, and everybody has something to offer. And so I'll be all ears, and we're going to spend time together around fires, and there's a pool there. Again, like I said, it's 5-star, all your food, everything's included. All you have to pay for is flights and show up. And it's going to be amazing. So, yeah, that's what this is. Basically, M42 Adventures is a brainchild of mine that is going to be talking to amazing individuals on, the podcast, having amazing experiences at, I have a property here in Utah, 40 acres here in Utah. That's amazing. We're going to do some experiences there. My parents' ranch, and then we're looking for other venues all over the country. And then experiences. For next year, we've got a surf school, surf experience planned for Costa Rica that we're working on. We've got some hunts in Texas. We're working on a mountain biking experience here in southern Utah. We're at like the epicenter of mountain biking. We're working on a hiking experience where you come out. Zion National Park is right here in my backyard. And we'll spend, 4 days just hitting trails, rappelling, hiking, and sitting around a campfire. And that, to me, is what I'm trying to create, is a business that will support people coming out, doing these experiences, meeting new people, and just learning new. My brother is a huge canyoneering guy, rappelled for years, and just has done probably all 90% of the trails here in southern Utah. And I always loved that. I was working, I couldn't make it, or I was traveling, and couldn't make it. And I want to know how to tie a rope. I want to know how to, put I don't even know what it's called, carabiner an anchor. I was thinking an anchor to rappel down a cliff, how to climb up a cliff, how to, and so that's the purpose of this. We're going to dive into these different outdoor, snowboarding, we're going to bring people up and either in Park City or Bryan Head, Utah, and spend 4 days, teaching people from beginners to experienced, on how to snowboard. And, we'll put you in the group. If you're a beginner, we'll go over to the Bunny Hill and we'll get you set up and teach you how to start. And if you're more experienced and want to go over here to a Black Diamond, let's go. I'm good with that. I love that. So, it's going to be fun. This has to be fun. This is what the point of this is. If it's not, I won't do it. This is something that I want to change people, help people, and be a bright spot in, I know the world's tough, things are hard, and I'm hoping that this can be something that can give people. I have a lot of friends who are looking for hobbies or something to do, golf, anything outdoors. It doesn't have to be these extreme sports or hunting, it can be golf. We're actually looking at maybe doing a experience over in Scotland. My partner is a huge golfer, and he wants to go to the first golf course, I don't even know the name of it, over in Scotland and spend 4 days in golf. And I said, let's do it. Let's set it up. Let's go over there. Let's eat the food, see the sights, and golf. And, I'm not a big golfer, but I'll try it, and to say that I went to a golf course where it started and get some lessons from people who know how to golf that can, kind of help me with my struggles, and not hook it, not slice it, whatever. Let's go. Let's do it. And I'm hoping after a few years of this, for me personally, I grow, I level up, and that's the evolve part, to where I, am just more well-rounded. And when somebody calls up and says, hey, do you want to go golf? I can say, yeah, I'm not the greatest, but I can hold my own. Or do you want to go hiking? And say, yeah, I know what to pack. I know what shoes to wear. I have them. I've bought them. And let's go, So off-roading, we're looking at some off-roading where we bring people out and put them in a off-road vehicle and go out and ride, crawl the red rocks of Sand Hollow, which is world famous. And you never know what's gonna, what bug's gonna bite you. There's a lot of things that you do in life where, like I said, you might try 4 or 5 of these things and say that wasn't for me, and then you just loved rock crawling. And I think everybody in life needs to find what moves them, what motivates them, what makes them want to get out of the house, grab your wife, grab your girlfriend, grab your dad, grab your kids, grab your grandpa, whoever that person, grab a friend, grab a buddy, and go do something, go spend time together, and like I said, hiking, walking down a path. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be crazy, but we'll bring you in and we'll teach you, a lot about what each of those entail. And then next year we'll start setting up, different experiences that are going to be all over the globe. And I'm excited about it. So if you're interested in anything that I have been talking about, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you will tune in to further episodes. Like I said, I've got Ryan Mickler coming on, Paul Silvis, and then we've got our list of people that we're, reaching out to. If you or anybody fits into any of these things that you would like to be on this podcast and help people understand what you're good at and what you love and what moves you, please reach out to us. Admin at M42Adventures.com. You can email us there and tell us what it is. Yeah, or reach out through the website. We have a chat on there. You can chat to us on the website. But if you know of anybody that's, anywhere from, just somebody who has knowledge about, spearfishing. I can go on and on. There's just so many things outdoors that people jump into and things that interest me that I would love to learn about. And if you know somebody that does that, please reach out to us. We need podcast guests, and we're just starting out. And when you're just starting out and you call somebody and say, hey, well, you want to be a guest, and you got 3 episodes and 9 likes, it's tough. So we'll get there. It takes time, and we're aware of that. But someday it'll be easier to get guests once we get our name out there and people understand what we're doing. I love the beginning. I love the challenge. It almost becomes a challenge for me, to kind of prove people wrong. I have lots of people saying you can't start a podcast. They're so saturated, or you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, if I can do anything I want, I'm recording a podcast right now, I'm doing it. It may not be the Joe Rogan experience, and that's okay, but as long as I enjoy it and it fills my cup and it helps a couple people out there, let's go. Let's keep it going. So appreciate you listening today. Make sure you go to all of our social media. We're on, all platforms. You can go to, if you don't just want to go to one spot, you can go to www.m42adventures.com. We've got all the links to all of the social media, YouTube, the podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, everything like that. If you enjoyed what you heard, then please keep following, please share, please like. I sincerely appreciate it. I know how hard it is to start a business. I have so many people that try to start businesses, and, they start whatever it is, a food truck, and I always go over there and buy from them, because it's hard enough and difficult. And so I don't need your money as certainly, but a like, a follow, a share means a lot, and I appreciate it. If you know of anybody who you thought would be a good fit, please reach out to us. We just started selling tickets to the events in Utah this week. The dates are, got my flyer here, August 29th to September 1st, and then September 12th to September 15th. We're only doing 2 events this year, 2 experiences, and it's going to be amazing. We've actually got one that is on next Tuesday that is going to be amazing. It's already full, but if you want to come in this fall and join us, go to m42adventures.com, look it up. We would love to have you. Or you can call 435-359-8130, and we will get you, the information you need. If you have any other questions, let us know. Can you think of anything else, Ricky, that, we need to add? Yeah. We appreciate your support. We appreciate, everybody that's helped us get here so far. I'll forget the names, but I believe it's, actually I should probably have that ready. Who's bringing our side-by-sides? Who's bringing the horses? I'll have to add that on the website. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say it wrong. But we have a couple companies that are going to be supporting us at events, And I will get everybody's information, their information on our website and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, we appreciate everybody that's stepped up, helped us to so far. You can check out our store. We're just getting apparel on there. We got different hats and patches and different things like that. So if you want to get some apparel, stickers, things like that, Ricky's handing me all this stuff. Anyway, yeah, we appreciate the support. If you want to get it out there. We're going to be doing giveaways. We got plans, like I said, we're 100 days in. We're brand new. We're a baby. But we got some exciting things that we're going to be launching and talking about, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride and get something out of it. So again, right now you're getting educated. Hopefully you will choose to experience it, sign up, come out, make the, take the action. So many of us just don't do that. And I encourage you to take the action. And if it's not with us, that's fine. Get up and go for a walk. Go hike a mountain, go try to find somebody that'll give you horse riding lessons. Go buy a bow, it doesn't have to be through us, but we are certainly here to try to help you. So stay tuned. Hopefully you'll check out the next couple episodes. We're going to release 3 at one time, once we get them all recorded and edited, and then 1 every week. I will talk more about, what day that will be and what time. We're still working that out, but every week I'll be here, one of us, probably me. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great day, and take care.